The real question isn't, how do I avoid difficulty for the rest of my life? That question has no answer, because difficulty never stops arriving. The real question is, who shows up when it does? Most people spend years trying to control their circumstances. Almost no one spends a single day training the one thing that actually decides how their life feels, their inner response. That's the whole difference between a person who breaks under pressure and a person who bends, adapts, and keeps walking. Marcus Aurelius wrote his private notes to himself in the middle of a military camp, not in a peaceful villa. He was running an empire during plagues, wars, and betrayals no ruler could fully control. Epictetus didn't teach freedom from a place of comfort. He taught it after living as a slave, after learning firsthand that a body can be owned, but a mind, if trained, cannot. Seneca didn't philosophize about loss from a distance. He lived through exile, through the constant threat of losing everything, including his life, at the whim of an emperor. None of them earned the right to talk about steadiness by avoiding hardship. They earned it by going through hardship and refusing to let it decide who they became. That's why their words still work today. They weren't decorations, they were survival tools. Here is the first habit of a steady mind. It manages the meaning of an event before it manages the event itself. Because it's rarely the event that breaks a person. It's the story they immediately tell themselves about it. A canceled plan can just be a canceled plan. Your mind turns it into proof that nothing ever works out for you. A cold reply can just be a cold reply. Your mind turns it into proof that you did something wrong. A missed opportunity can just be a missed opportunity. Your mind turns it into proof that you're always going to be left behind. Notice the pattern? The event is small. The interpretation is what does the damage. Two people can lose the same job on the same day. One spirals for 6 months. The other treats it as unwanted but survivable information and starts moving the next morning. The job didn't decide that. The mind did. The Stoics had a practice for this. Sort everything into 2 boxes. Box 1, what you actually control. Box 2, everything else. Other people's opinions of you, box 2. How fast someone replies to your message, box 2. What happened 5 years ago, box 2. Whether the outcome you're working toward actually arrives, box 2. Your effort, box 1. Your honesty, box 1. How you treat people when things go wrong, box 1. Whether you show up again tomorrow, box 1. Most suffering comes from putting your energy into box 2 and expecting box 2 things to obey you. They never will. That's not pessimism, that's just the actual shape of reality. The moment you stop fighting for control over box 2, something strange happens. You get more control over box 1. Because all the energy that used to leak out chasing things you can't touch is suddenly available for the things you can. This isn't about becoming numb. You can still care deeply. You can want a good outcome, love someone fully, chase a goal seriously, without handing that thing the keys to your peace of mind. The second habit is even harder to build, creating a gap between what happens and how you respond. Most people live on autopilot. Someone's tone is sharp and words fly out before thought does. A message goes unanswered, and the mind writes an entire tragic novel about what it means. It's like there's a button installed in most of us, and the world has learned exactly where it is. But there's a small space, sometimes less than a second, between the moment something happens and the moment you react. Inside that space is where freedom actually lives. That pause is enough to not send the message you'll regret in an hour. Enough to not turn a minor disagreement into a permanent rupture. Enough to remember that not every comment requires a response, and not every silence requires an explanation. That gap is tiny at first, almost nothing, but every time you use it instead of skipping it, it grows a little. And the wider it gets, the harder you are to provoke. Here's something most people get backwards. They treat discomfort as an enemy to eliminate rather than information to use. Feel bored? Reach for the phone. Feel insecure? Chase reassurance. feel a hard emotion, look for the fastest possible exit from it. Do that enough times and the mind loses its tolerance for anything uncomfortable. So when real life demands patience, waiting, or restraint, it has no idea how to respond. A small setback starts to feel like a catastrophe because the mind was never trained to sit with anything mildly unpleasant. But some discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the curriculum. The discomfort of staying disciplined when no one's watching, the discomfort of hearing hard feedback without immediately defending yourself, the discomfort of waiting for something you can't rush, the discomfort of doing the right thing when the easier thing was right there. A mind that runs from all discomfort stays fragile forever. A mind that learns to walk through some of it becomes something else entirely, durable. So the better question isn't, how do I feel better right now? It's, what is this moment training me to become? That single shift changes everything, because a difficult person becomes practice for your patience. A setback becomes practice for your resilience. A wait becomes practice for your composure. Nothing is wasted anymore. It's all material. There's a difference between looking calm and being calm, and it matters more than most people admit. A lot of people perform composure. Quiet voice, tight smile, calm words, while a storm runs underneath, unaddressed, just delayed for later. Real steadiness isn't the absence of feeling. It's having feelings that don't get to run the show. The emotion shows up, gets acknowledged, and then doesn't get handed the final vote. That takes an honest inner conversation, not a performed one. Under pressure, ask yourself plainly, is this actually mine to control? Will my next move make this better or just louder? Am I responding with judgment or just trying to make the discomfort stop faster? Will I be proud of this reaction in a week? Those questions work like brakes, because under pressure, everything feels urgent. Decide now, defend now, prove your point now. But urgency and importance are not the same thing, and one of the strongest moves available to you is simply waiting a few extra minutes before deciding anything permanent. Anger passes, fear shifts, anxiety changes shape by tomorrow, but some words, once said, don't take themselves back. That's why a steady mind treats emotion as a signal, never as an order. Anger might be pointing at something that hurt you. It's not instructing you to hurt back. Fear might be flagging something worth attention. It's not instructing you to run. Sadness might mean something mattered. It doesn't mean nothing matters anymore. Every hard season eventually asks one final question, and it's not, why is this happening to me? It's, who am I choosing to be all the way through this? You don't get to pick the weather. You get to decide whether you still adjust the sails. You don't get to pick the storm. You get to decide whether you let go of the wheel. That's not passivity. That is, quietly, one of the most powerful things a person can build. Not the power to stop hard things from happening, the power to not be reshaped into something smaller by them. And that power isn't installed overnight. It's built the same unglamorous way almost everything worth having gets built. One small, repeated, mostly invisible choice at a time. The choice to pause before reacting. The choice to sort what's actually yours to carry from what was never yours to begin with. The choice to sit with discomfort instead of fleeing it. The choice to let a hard season train you instead of just tire you out. So next time pressure shows up, and it will, don't just ask why it's happening. Ask what kind of person it's quietly inviting you to become. If this made you think, drop a comment with what you'd add and subscribe for more.